feature of the surgery is on the fracture of the neck of the femur. The fracture of the neck of the femur is one of the important topic from the surgery as exam point of view, and also the fracture of the neck of the femur is one of the commonest fracture. It is one of the commonest fracture in the lower extremity than any other bone. The neck of the femur, it gets most commonly fractured after the trauma. Second one common fracture is the fracture of the patella fracture, isn't it? So it is the commonest fracture in the lower extremity. Incidence, regarding incidence of the fracture of the neck of the femur, it is common in the old age peoples. Common in the old age peoples, that in the peoples above the age of 60 years. Above the age of 60 years. Why? Because after the age of the 60 years, or as age advances, the bone becomes brittle. Bone becomes the brittle, or it increases the brittleness of the bone. That's why it occurs in the old age. But even though it is common in the old age, after the age of the 60 years, it can also occur in the children. It can occur in the children there, isn't it? So here, so it is the common in the old age persons over the age of the 60 years as the bone becomes the brittle as age advances there. Then etiology or the causes of the fracture of the neck of the femur. The causes are here etiology in elderly peoples. The trauma causing the fracture is just trivial trauma. A little trauma. Trivial trauma is there here, isn't it? Trivial trauma. Or just stumble, or from sleeping in the bathroom, isn't it? Just fall in the bathroom, so that also cause the fracture. It doesn't require the more violence or severe trauma. Are you getting? It is in old age, the just trivial trauma, stumbling, even sometimes when the forcefully downstairs, sleeping in the bathroom or on the floor, that will cause the fractures. Why? Because as I already said, in old age, due to the age or as the age advances, the bone becomes more brittle and the fragile, that which easily gets a fracture. While second one cause in young peoples. In young peoples, the trauma is severe. In young peoples, the trauma is the severe here. While the second pathological. The pathological fracture is also common in the neck of the femur. And when it is pathological, the two causes are A, since the neck of the femur is a common site for the deposit of the metastasis. It means the deposition of the cancerous cells from the distal part is common site, and that which makes the neck of the femur weak, and that will cause the fracture. That's a pathological cause one, which metastasis, secondary metastasis. Then second, the bone cyst in the children. As already I said you, the fracture of the neck of the femur is common in the children also. And when it occurs in the children, it occurs due to the bone cyst, and it is mostly the pathological fracture in children. You have got? So this is the etiology. Then classification of the fracture of the neck of the femur. See, this is very important to understand the classification of the fracture of the neck of the femur. The fracture of the neck of the femur, it is classified in the different types or the various types on the basis of the different factors or the various factors. These factors are first one, on the basis of the etiology, as you see that here. On the basis of the etiology first. On the basis of etiology, the fracture of the neck of the femur is classified in three groups: traumatic fracture, then the pathological fracture, and the fatigue fracture. Fatigue fracture. Next, then on the basis of, second, on the basis of the site, on the basis of the site, which is also called anatomical classification. It is the oldest classification on the basis of the site. It means that where does the fracture occurs. On the basis of the site of anatomical fracture, it is classified two groups are there. One is the intracapsular. Intracapsular. These are two types, subcapital and the second is transcervical. Transcervical. Let me see detail this about this fracture. The second, extracapsular. These are the two types, intertrochanteric and the pertrochanteric. Intertrochanteric and the pertrochanteric. Third one classification, Powell's classification. Powell's classification. And according to Powell's classification, the fracture is divided into two groups, the adduction fracture and second is the abduction fracture. Adduction fracture and the abduction fracture here. Fourth one classification, Gordon's classification. According to Gordon, it is classified in the four stages, four types. First is stage 1 fracture, second is stage 2 fracture, stage 3 fracture and the stage 4 fracture. So this is a classification of the fracture of the neck of the femur. So we will detail this one. Detail. See, we will see the explanation of the type of fractures of the neck of the femur in detail with the help of this tree diagram. Here first we have been seen already the first classification on the basis of the etiology or on the basis of the cause. On the basis of the etiology or on the basis of the cause, as you already seen, it is classified in the three types. One is a traumatic fracture, first one. Second is a pathological fracture, and third is a fatigue fracture. Traumatic fracture means it is fracture in the healthy bone. And here the sole cause or only cause of the fracture is the trauma. Severe trauma, as you have seen in the young adults are there. Second, the pathological fracture. Here, the fracture due to the underlying pathology. The trauma is not sole cause, as you have been seen, just from trial trauma, just from the stumble, mere stumble, slipping, it will cause the fracture. It occurs when, in the case of pathological fracture, as you have been seen in etiology. What pathology? Either the secondary metastasis in the neck of femur or the bone cyst will cause the pathological fracture. Third is a fatigue fracture. Fatigue fracture. The fatigue fracture occurs from the long standing with undue position, as in case of soldiers with the long march, continuously marching for the long time with undue position, that will cause the fatigue fracture. Fatigue fracture. So this is an etiological classification. Then anatomical classification. This is the oldest classification and it is very important. You should understand this classification properly because it is very important in the point of the management. The anatomical classification, according to it one, the fracture is classified in two groups there. One is intracapsular and second is extracapsular. Intracapsular fracture means it is a fracture of the bone or neck of the femur that within the attachment of capsular ligament. Within the attachment of the capsular ligament. And it is of the two types. One is subcapital and second is a transcervical. Subcapital and transcervical. The first one, subcapital, means what? This is the first one. Just or immediately below the head of the femur. Immediately below the head of the femur. It's called the subcapital. Subcapital. Second one is transcervical. It means here in the neck of the femur, anywhere from below the head up to the trochanter, throughout the length of the. So see here, if this is the neck, this one, isn't it? And here it occurs anywhere here, as shown in this figure. It's called a transcervical. So this both sides or both type of fractures are or fracture line is present within the attachment of the capsular ligament, so that's why it is called the intracapsular. You should remember one important thing in this type of the fracture. Which intracapsular fracture? What? Here the chances of the avascular necrosis is there. Chances of avascular necrosis is there. Why? Because here among the three blood supply of the head of the femur, among three sources of the blood supply of the neck of the femur, the two sources may get interrupted. Which one? The first of all, we'll see what are these three sources are there. The first source is the small artery. It's passing through the ligamentum teres, which attaches to the head of the femur. That is called as the artery to the head of the femur here. Here. It passes here. And second one source, the branches of the nutrient artery, which passes through the substance of the bone. And third source, the collateral, which runs along with the neck of the femur. Collateral, which runs along with the neck of the femur to the inner side of the capsular ligament. Isn't it? Among these three, the second and third source, which one? The nutrient artery, and second, the collaterals, which runs along with the neck of the femur. They cause what? Rupture or discontinuity in case of this intracapsular fracture, and it may cause avascular necrosis. Avascular means no vessels. Why there are no vessels? Because during this fracture, the vessels are disconnected or injured. You have got? So this should you keep in the mind. It's very important one. Then next one, extracapsular fracture. Extracapsular fracture means what? It is a fracture of the neck of the femur which occurs outside the attachment of the capsular ligament. Isn't it? It's of the two types. One is intertrochanteric and second is a pertrochanteric. Intertrochanteric means what? The fracture line presents in between the two trochanter. This is greater trochanter and this is a lesser trochanter. And in between this trochanter, in this fracture line is there. It is called intertrochanteric. Second, the pertrochanteric. Pertrochanteric means what? The fracture line which travels through the trochanters. This extending from the greater trochanter to that of the lesser trochanter. These are two types of the extracapsular. Do you got? The first one is intertrochanteric and second is a pertrochanteric. I repeat again. The extracapsular fracture means it is a fracture of the neck of the femur which occurs or in which the fracture line is present outside the attachment of capsular ligament. It is of the two types, intertrochanteric and the pertrochanteric. Intertrochanteric is that where the fracture line is present in between the trochanter. In between the trochanter. Not extending in the trochanter. While in the pertrochanteric, the fracture line is travels through two trochanter, extending from the greater trochanter to the lesser trochanter. The size is called a per means through the trochanter. Do you got? So this is a anatomical classification. Next one classification is a Powell's classification. The Powell's classification, it is made by the making the angle. We'll see how we'll make the angle. First of all, we'll see what are these types are there. The types, according to Powell's classification, there are two types of the fracture of the neck of the femur. One is a abduction and second is a adduction fracture. Abduction fracture means what? Where the fracture line is almost transverse, or it is a transverse. Here see, transverse. This is called abduction fracture. Why is called abduction? Where after the fracture, the head of femur, it displaces or moves away from here, away from the shaft of the femur. That's why it is called the abduction, isn't it? Second is the adduction. In adduction, the fracture line is almost vertical here. And why? Because after the fracture, the head moves towards the shaft, like this, moves towards the shaft. So that's why it's called adduction fracture. Adduction towards. Do you got? Now, how to diagnose? Either this is abduction fracture or the adduction fracture. The adduction and abduction fracture diagnosed by drawing the Powell's angle. Powell's angle. Here, so how we will draw? One line is passing through the upper margin. Transverse line is passing through the upper margin of the acetabulum. Acetabulum here. And second line passing through the fracture line. See in both figures. One transverse line along with the upper margin of the acetabulum, and second line through the fracture line. So this angle is drawn on the X-ray after the radiological examination. So first draw the X-ray, isn't it? Do the X-ray, and after doing the X-ray, on the X-ray, you have to draw these lines are there. So one transverse line through the or along the upper margin of the acetabulum cavity, and second line through the fracture line. You will see in the first one abduction fracture. So this line, which one passing through it is a transverse, mostly horizontal, and here angle is less than 30 degree. Angle is less than angle formed by the two lines, joining two lines, which transverse line and line passing through the fracture. In abduction, this angle is less than 30 degree. While here in adduction fracture, the angle drawn by joining these two lines, transverse line and line passing through the fracture, is a more than 70 degree or the 70 degree. Isn't it? So this is a way of diagnosing the abduction and adduction fractures. Hope that you understood what to mean the abduction and what to mean the adduction. In abduction, line is horizontal, while almost horizontal, and in adduction, it is almost vertical. Then next one classification is the Gardner's classification. Gardner's classification. According to Gardner's, the fracture is classified in the 4 stages, and this classification is made on the basis of the displacement. On the basis of displacement and the nature of the fracture, and it is classified into 4 groups. One is the stage first, stage second, stage third, and the stage fourth. Stage first means what? There is a fracture of the neck of the femur is there, but it's an incomplete fracture. Incomplete fracture, you can see in this figure. Here, incomplete fracture. There is no complete separation of the head of the femur from the neck, or there is no what? The complete fracture, or the line of the fracture is not completely traced through the whole width of the neck. Here see, here is no fracture, and the fracture extended from here to here. So this is incomplete fracture. Which one? Stage first. Then the stage second, there is a complete fracture. Stage second, there is a complete fracture, but without displacement. Without displacement. You understood? And the stage third, there is a complete fracture with a minimum displacement. Complete fracture with minimum displacement. It's stage 3, and stage 4 means what? There is a fracture of the neck of the femur with a gross displacement. Here you can see. Gross displacement with the destruction of the bone. Destruction of the bone is the stage 4th. So to understand Gardner's classification, the Gardner's classification made on the basis of what? The nature of the fracture and the pathology. Or you can say displacement. So as you see, the stage first, incomplete fracture, no displacement. Stage second, complete fracture, but no displacement. While stage third, complete fracture with the minimal displacement and less destruction. While in stage 4, there is a gross displacement with the destruction of the bone. You can see here this figure. This is stage 4th, and this is a classification of the fracture of the neck of the femur. Hope that you understood this fracture and the classification of the fracture in this lecture. And for today's lecture, this much is there. In next lecture, we will see the clinical features, the complications, and the management of the fracture of the neck of femur. So, watch the lecture carefully. Prepare yourself, isn't it? And as I said that anatomical classification is very important classification, isn't it? Because the major complication in case of the fracture of the neck of the femur is avascular necrosis of the neck of the femur. That you should keep in the mind, isn't it? And you have to study the fracture of the neck of the femur in detail like this, isn't it? Thank you for watching the lecture.